All right, Angry Bears fan podcast. Big Bears win on Monday night, overcome the Fail Mary and get our revenge win against the Commanders, 25-24. Um, yeah, we talked about it. I thought it was, I don't know if must win was a good win, but we really needed this one for confidence sake, just for karma, whatever you want to call it. I think we lost this game. I think we all would have been a little bummed out.
Yeah, I mean it's a precedent, it's a tone setter for the rest of the season, especially these next five games that we got coming up. Sunday against the Saints, then we got Baltimore coming off the bye with a returning Lamar Jackson, supposedly. Then you got Cincinnati, both Baltimore and Cincinnati on the road. Then you got the Giants at home, and then you got your revenge game against the Vikings right after that. So, this kind of sets the tone. Back-to-back road wins too. 25-24, the exact same score, first time since 1907 that a team has won back-to-back games by 1 point by the exact same score. Um, so there's a little bit of history there. Like I said, it was a confidence booster. You mentioned it. This was a morale victory for the Bears. This is something they needed coming out of that game to pretty much, this is a thing that wouldn't have happened over the last,
Yeah.
several years.
Two
Um,
back-to-back close games, let alone, I
yeah,
mean, one,
they
let
were
alone two. Like,
they're up 13-0, lose that lead, go down 24 16, come back. Caleb again, while he may not have been great through three quarters, when his team needed him and he needed to make plays, Caleb made plays again, led another game-winning drive. Jake Moody 4 for 5 on field goals, very good. But yeah, I mean, we needed this win. I've got, if you want to start with the good, go ahead and start with the good. I'll give you my good after yours.
well, definitely good was DeAndre Swift that got going. That was a must. The offense looks so much different when we can get big chunk plays in the run game. I think we saw a lot of the deep crossers. Caleb seemed to be hitting those pretty well in the game. I think that was because we finally were able to run the ball, get the linebackers really uh, committing to the run, and we can go over the top. Um, Caleb again played well. Still the inaccuracy stuff. I guess we'll see as time goes, but he made plays when we need him. He made the throws when we need him. He a couple third downs. He made threw some bad balls, but game on the line, just like last year. He drove down the field, put points on the board, and first time we should have won the game, and this time we did get the win. And then to see Jake Moody, practice squad guy, obviously went to Michigan. I like him a lot. This is one of the highest drafted kickers in a long time. Kind of basically a bust. He just never panned out in San Francisco for whatever reason. It'll be interesting to see what they do because Moody can kick. Got a big leg. Um, and I mean, it's not like Santos is a world beater, so it'll be interesting. But just that left out to me. It was very good. Like you said, we were up 13-0, then went down 24-16. That's just a game we always lose. Like we saw it so many times over and over and over again, where that's a game that we can never claw back from. That we just keep beating ourselves.
I will say this. So there's a big difference between this week and how I felt in week one. And week one against Minnesota, when, things started rolling downhill, I texted you and I said, uh-oh, game over. I had no feelings of that this last game. For whatever reason, I felt confident that the Bears were somehow going to come back in that game. And I swear to God, I think I lived
I
that
kind of
fumble.
agree until we didn't get the 2 point conversion. I agree. I was like, Caleb's going to drive down. We're going to score a touchdown right here. Like I felt, but then he did. We didn't get the two, and I'm like, fuck, we're going to lose now.
I didn't have that feeling. I still didn't have
The
that
guess the
feeling.
defense again 3 takeaways. Defense. I mean, I guess I skipped past that. I think 11 takeaways in the last 3 games. I think we lead the league or we're tied for the lead in the league. I think it's
We're
us and the
second.
Jaguars. Second, I think the Jaguars are first.
Yeah.
And hey, I mean, bend don't break. I mean, that's the type of. I mean, there were years where the Bears were a dominant defense, but most years it was just bend don't break. We knew Peanut was going to punch a ball out. We knew Urlacher was going to make a play. We knew something. You know what I mean? D line was going to cause some disruptions, get a bad ball, and I think we've been great about that. I mean, almost all year, and definitely the last 3 weeks. But it's nice to see that. Oh, I know Troy Aikman was hating, and a lot of people just. I mean, he didn't say anything about defense, but people say that fumble's lucky. Like, yeah, it is, but a lot of times people don't fall in those. Like,
Well, that and, no offense to Troy Aikman, but, Caleb Williams had no issues with ball security while Jaden Daniels had multiple issues with ball security. My good, I'll start off, like I said, like you said, actually, DeAndre Swift, 14 carries, 108 yards, 2 catches, 67 yards, and a touchdown. He was good for, over 7.5 yards a run. The offensive line in general, fantastic. But special shout out to Theo Benedict, the Canadian Eagle, making his first start. Did really well, I felt, in pass pro. It seems like he completely changed the run game on that side. I mean, he was going after folks. And another special shout out to Darnell Wright. He looked like an elite right tackle Monday night against the Commanders. He took on multiple people multiple times and made the block and sprung a lot of those big runs for DeAndre Swift. So I give my kudos to him. But as a whole unit, the offensive line played pretty well. You mentioned the defense, 3 more turnovers, 11 in the last 3 weeks. That's always a good thing to see. Shout out to the defensive line in general is a good. They stopped the run. They were giving up the most, yards per carry, the most rush yards in the league. They came in, held Washington's #1 run offense to, I would say, a pretty good clip. I know Washington finished with over 100 and something yards, but 60 of those were from pure scrambles from Jaden Daniels. But special shout out on that defensive line to rookie Shamar Turner. So Turner played 22 snaps, and the rest of the time he's been active, he's been kind of on the interior. All 22 snaps that he played at defensive end, and he's been a really good run stopper. He showed it against Washington on Monday night, and they were able to create a lot more pressure. I know Dennis Allen got a little bit exotic with some blitzes that I liked. A lot of the stunts were exotic as well, but they were able to get pressure. Jaden Daniels just was able to escape that pressure and unfortunately was able to get, big chunk plays on the ground. We're going to have to shore that up, especially with Lamar coming up if he does play. And then my last good for this week is the special teams unit. Obviously, Jake Moody, 4 for 5. That blocked field goal did come out a little low. I don't know if he slipped. I don't know what happened with that one, but we kind of forgave him for that since he made the game winner anyway. And then Torrey Taylor, the punt that he needed to have to get it out quick because Washington was coming after it. Line drive punt, 56 yards inside the 10-yard line. Absolutely beautiful. As a overall grade for me, I give it a solid B. There could have been a little bit better, from Caleb on the offensive side of the ball. He was missing, some easy throws, stuff like that. Zacchaeus, bad drop. I can't wait I know Zacchaeus is, kind of Caleb's guy, but I think you throw Luther Burden in Zacchaeus' spot and you just see the offense take off even more. He's probably going to see some extended playing time this week because, DJ Moore's kind of questioned. He stayed overnight in the hospital, didn't travel home with the team. He was back today, did not participate in practice. It was just a walkthrough. But I think you got to throw Luther Burden in there. But that was my good for this week. Give me your bad.
Bad, definitely Caleb's just inaccuracy. And the confusion in the secondary, giving up big plays. I know we got backups and backups in, but some of those just can't happen. Just blown coverage, wide open touchdown. Like, if we're gonna win, we're gonna win big games. We can't have that. Like, and that's really it. I mean, there was a lot. There wasn't a lot to complain about. I mean, a lot of my complaints are the refs. I don't even think so. A lot of the penalties this week that were called, usually we harp on the bad penalties. This week, I don't think a lot of them were that bad. I mean,
no.
That the legal formation was bullshit. Like, I guess he was a little bad, but like, I don't know. I feel like if you're gonna be ticky tack, you have to do it early in the game. You don't wait until the fucking, when the game's on the line.
Ben Johnson said that they did warn them about that before they called the penalty, but that still was not.
No, I don't think so. No.
That he was lined up properly, and the face mask penalty was a phantom face mask. The offensive pass interference, the roughing the passer on Montez Sweat was very
terrible. It's very terrible. And it's like, and they didn't call. There was a couple they should have called for Caleb if they were going to be ticky tack. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the ref in the game. I think we played a great game on both sides of the ball. Defense looked energized. The Commanders are no slouches, so outside of the you know what I mean, a couple of big pass plays down the field, we did a good job containing Jaden Daniels. We did a good job containing the run. I don't have much complaints there. Some unopportune, inaccurate throws by Caleb, but it also was raining. It wasn't like perfect conditions. Um, but that's really like I didn't have a lot of bad to say. I think everybody played hard. It was a good game. You know, I mean, we could have played better, but nothing I can complain about. Just you know, I mean, more effort, more lock in a little bit more, and but we seeing good things like you said. This stretch coming up, very winnable game. Like we should go 4-1. I mean, this Saints game is a trap game for a team like the Bears, where like we're trending up. A team I think it'll be the first game we're favored in all year. Um, and they, you know, I mean, they did the same thing to the Giants. The Giants thought, oh, we're, you know, what I mean, we're rolling. We have some big wins, and then the Saints beat them down. Um, so we can't let that happen to us. We got to keep the run game going. Get after Spencer Rattler. He won't be able to get away like Jaden Daniels was getting away. Again, I mean, I skipped passes, but Dial jumped out to me a lot. He was almost there on a bunch of sacks. In the read option game, he was hitting Jaden Daniels every time. Even when he handed up, I know they were hating it. I think they just kind of took it out of the playbook because the Bears were making an emphasis for him to completely sell out and lock in on Jaden Daniels, and he was hitting them every time they ran an inside zone. And the refs kind of got to let him just because of the potential to pull. And I just thought it was a well coached game by Ben Johnson and Dennis Allen, and a big win for Ben Johnson. You know, coming out of the bye week, we needed this. So like everybody's got to buy in that, you know, I mean, we're not the same old Bears. We're going to win these close games. We're not going to lose them.
Well, the Bears were also 1-10 coming out of bye weeks over the last 11 years. So Ben Johnson starting off 1-0 is a very positive start. My bad. I got a couple of specifics. You had mentioned the refs and the penalties. You know what I'm saying with all that shit. The third and long defense was left a lot to be desired for me. I felt like they converted on a couple third and longs. It was like 3rd and 12, 3rd and 14, where they went to a very basic shell defense, 3 down linemen, bring a 4th, and they gave up big chunk plays for
the running back or somebody
down,
in the flats.
Third down conversions. I wasn't a fan of that. You brought up Caleb Williams' accuracy. I mean, 58% for the game. The conditions were rough, but at the same time, pardon me, Jaden Daniels finished with, 78% or 75% or whatever it was. So I don't think that's really an excuse. I know Zacchaeus had that drop, but, you got to get that completion percentage up one way or another. Jaden Daniels was able to complete 70% of his passes. There should have been no reason why Caleb shouldn't have been able to do the same thing in those conditions. And then my last bad, and it's got nothing to do with the Bears, was just the broadcast. I got so annoyed listening to Troy Aikman all fucking night long, just dogging Caleb Williams for no reason. And we found out the reason later. Today it came out, of course, that Caleb was staying late at Hallis Hall. That he didn't meet Troy Aikman during the normal, Monday Night Football like production meeting kind of thing where they sit down and talk and everything. So Caleb had stayed late at Hallis. After he was done, he tried to get a hold of Troy Aikman afterwards. Troy Aikman did not answer the phone. So I'm pretty sure Troy Aikman was just a little salty, or whatever, kind of unprofessional, in my opinion, kind of took his bias out on that, thought that Caleb was, superstar, big starring him or whatever. I'm too big for this kind of interview kind of shit, but that's not the case. That's not what it was. No. And Troy Aikman is just, he was god awful on Monday night. I could not stand listening to him. It was just so
he was
bad.
He was just being a prick, and like you said, I don't know if it was because of that. I would have a hard time believing that just because you've been.
I don't. He's petty as fuck.
Well, I'm just saying, like you've been where it's like he's probably got a lot going on in his mind. You were the quarterback of a vaunted franchise where like every game matters. You knew how big this game was. I just feel like if you were going to be so upset, like pissed off he missed the meeting, why not make another one? It seemed like you really wanted to talk to him. But yeah, I mean, and certain things were fair criticisms that we said too, but it's like I said, I just felt unprofessional. Just felt like he was beating a dead horse where he just
the DeAndre Swift touchdown he called lucky.
Yes.
Jaden Daniels fumbling the ball twice wasn't on Jaden Daniels, but Caleb Williams, with the missed snap. Oh, that's got to be you got to get that if you're the quarterback.
Yeah, he doesn't call when Jaden Daniels throws a wide open 40-yard touchdown pass with a blown coverage. He's not like, oh, that's lucky. Like that's fucking lucky. Like not DeAndre Swift breaking a tackle. Like, well, yeah, it was bad. I'm not a big fan of Troy anyway, but I was just like, what the fuck is going on with Troy Aikman? Where he started shit, like you said, it came out later. Um, I know it was coming out in weird ways. At first, I heard that like Caleb tried to, and then he didn't want to at first. So I thought it was a whole Troy just wasn't fucking with him at all. But it seems like you said that signals got crossed or whatever, and maybe he did think Caleb was big time in him or whatever. But I don't know. Caleb's never. I mean, pre-draft, yes, we all they tried to get us to think that's what it was, but he's never seemed
No,
to be
they
that
tried to
way.
get you to think that.
Well, I'm
I
just
didn't
saying,
think
not
that.
you. I'm saying we as that's what the reports were coming out.
Oh,
Like
I
I can
know.
only
I'm giving you shit.
and I can admit that I believed it and it was wrong. But he seems like a pretty humble kid. That I mean, he's not big time in anybody. So yeah, I don't know what Troy was thinking. That was
Well, it's done and over with. It's in the books. Bears 25-24 win, week 6, big Monday Night Football game. Week 7 coming up Sunday, 12 o'clock kickoff against the New Orleans Saints, who seem to be having a fire sale going on, at least with the deadline coming up. There's a lot of speculation that they could be moving on from Chris Olave as well as Alvin Kamara and Cameron Jordan. So this week coming up, I mean, obviously the Saints, they're a little down and out right now, 1-5. Spencer Rattler has been playing really
pretty
well.
well.
I mean, he's much better than Tyler Shuck. I don't think he's a franchise guy yet. But you got to remember, this is the same guy that, realistically, he lost his starting job to Caleb
Caleb.
Williams at Oklahoma.
He was
You know, so
he was a number one quarterback recruit in the country.
exactly. This is
Very
another
talented kid.
storyline. This is another storyline game for Caleb, just like Monday night was. Going back home playing Washington again. The Fail Mary revenge game. This is another thing. He's got a natural rivalry with Spencer Rattler. They're kind of interwebbed. The Saints, like I said, they're not they're a team that can sneak up on you. I mean, they've got some speed with Shaheed as wide receiver. Chris Olave is Chris Olave. Alvin Kamara is Alvin Kamara. Their offensive line isn't all that. Their defense isn't all that. They're about bottom of the pack when it comes to offense and defense. So I think they average like 18.5 points per game. And they give up 26.7 points per game. So there's a lot here that could be done for the defense. Continuing to build against what they did against Washington, and the offense can continue to build what they've done over the last several weeks as well. They have the Saints. I will say they've kept games close. You were talking about it last week, over the last couple weeks. That regardless of what the Saints record is, they have been keeping games close against good teams. Of course, Buffalo's kind of fallen off a little bit, so that game you kind of look at that how you want to.
I mean, whatever way you want to look at it, Buffalo's better than us. So
Yeah, absolutely. So to you, what are some keys to the game? What do you think the Bears need to do in order to win this game and win it comfortably?
definitely get back to whatever they're doing to get DeAndre Swift gashing in big runs. I don't know what we're gonna do with Caleb and his inaccuracy. We got to figure something out. It was clear that Ben was starting the game with screens and stuff to try and warm him up, get him going, and it's still just not there. I don't know what it is. He's got all the arm talent in the world when he's running around. And the short stuff, he seems to get him the ball there, but intermediate and deep throws is just not. But I want to see us go down the field a little bit more, opening up the offense because that's going to open up everything and somehow get Loveland involved. Like I don't. What was, I'm just not a fan of us drafting this guy and then we're not going to use him. It's not that he's playing bad. I'm positive it's not a no blocking issue coming from where he came from. I just think, unfortunately, there's too many mouths to feed. And I feel like we're going down the path of, maybe he'll turn into Rome next year. But like,
It's funny that you bring that up, Colt, because I have here on my notes, I have a prediction that this is Colston Loveland's breakout game. I don't know why. I just kind of got that. I get that feeling a little bit that you're going to see 6 catches from Colston Loveland and he's going to get his first NFL touchdown.
I hope so. Yeah, because he can ball. He can definitely ball. And then if we can get 2 tight end sets going, or you know what I mean, him out in the slot and we're running the ball, it's just opened up a world of things. I think he is the Laporta clone that I'm assuming Ben Johnson wanted. Just big, strong, can catch, can run after the catch, can block. So we got to get him involved.
No, I absolutely agree, and I have that in my notes. Absolutely.
That's really it. Just we got to lock in. This is a game we should win. I think we should score 30 points. Don't let them score more than 20, and just keep building on what we're doing. Like I said, we need to go in the Baltimore riding high. That's going to be every game for them for the rest of the season. It's a must-win game. Lamar will be, healthy. He's the MVP. They got Derrick Henry. We're probably going to have to gear up for a shootout. And Roquan storyline. The Ravens defense isn't stopping anybody. So, yeah, we gotta play. We don't gotta look past the Saints, but we gotta lock in, and we'll get to the point where when we know we play to the best of our ability. A team like the Saints can't beat us.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It starts in the trenches. I think, against the Saints, you got to dominate the line of scrimmage, both on the offense and defensive side of the ball. I want to see some more from Shamar Turner. I want to see him play more at edge. I think he really excelled there, especially against the run game. I want to see some more of those exotic blitzes. I mean, those look so good. With Kyler Gordon coming back, we didn't even talk about Kyler Gordon, against Washington, but him and Tyreek Stevenson back there kind of shoring up the corner spot. I'm not a big fan of Deshaun Wright. I think before Jalen Johnson comes back or something, they got to figure something out because
he's decent in the run game, yes, but he's the one who's making all the mistakes.
Terrible in pass coverage.
Yeah.
But Kyler Gordon, I want to see some blitzes coming from him. Jaquan Brisker is also a good blitzer. But yeah, let's see that defensive line continue. Gavon Dexter's had a really good season. He had 1.5 sacks, Monday night against Washington. So that's not to be overlooked. Let's see if he can continue to build up.
Dominic Robinson he got a lot of good sacks. He
got in
well.
for a half a sack.
I want to see all over the place.
I want to see some more of Kyle Monangai and Roschon Johnson. We got to see Roschon Johnson with 1 carry for 6 yards. Kyle Monangai, he had like 5 carries for 19 yards, but I mean, he was
running hard.
Yes. You know what I'm saying? And that's good to see. Plus, it was a really good screen pass. If he didn't cut that back, that was a touchdown. So his vision's got to get a little bit better. But I want to see the offensive line continue to improve. Theo Benedict's going to have a big challenge up ahead of him this week with Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson's the ultimate vet, and he's having one hell of a season at age 36. But Jonah Jackson again, he had like 5 pressures week 1, and since week 1 he has allowed 1 pressure. And 0 sacks. I mean, Jonah Jackson, if he continues this way, it seems like he's, going to revert back to his Pro Bowl form. Darnell Wright looked really fucking good Monday night against Washington.
Yes, he was all over the place.
Dahlman has left a lot to be desired. It's like he goes in quarters. He has 1 good quarter, 1 bad quarter, 1 good quarter, 1 bad quarter. You don't ever have to worry about Joe Thuney. And then, of course, like I said, the Canadian Eagle. Let's see if he can build on a very positive first start, especially impressive since it was on the road. And you know how road games can get when you're an offensive lineman. There was no false start penalties, no, you know what I'm saying? No, nothing from Theo Benedict, his first start at left tackle. So let's see if that continues to grow. The run game's got to stay consistent. You don't have to average 7.5 yards per carry the rest of the season. We're not asking for that.
No.
But let's get to that 4.5, 5 yards per carry, average. That's where we really want to stick to it. And like I said, this week, book it. Colston Loveland breakout game, 6 catches.
I really hope so, because I think
65 yards on a touchdown for Colston Loveland. Final score prediction, Sean, for this week, week 7. Let me get it. What you got?
31-17.
I actually have it very close to that. Mine's actually 31-20. I think the Saints do put 20 up on the board just because, like you said, bend but don't break. The Bears defense has been giving up 20 points a game so far. So I'm going to say 31-20 Bears, and I think it's going to be a blowout early, and the Saints kind of get that those points in garbage time. You ready for some Week 6 Factor Cap overreactions, sir?
Let's get it.
All right. So, question number 1, fact or cap? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the team to beat in the NFC and are the current NFC favorites to win the Super Bowl.
I would say fact. I mean, the Eagles don't look like the Eagles of last year. Nobody else has really jumped out. Like, everybody else has had a chink in their armor. I mean, Bucs haven't played perfect, but they played pretty damn good. Baker's the front runner for MVP right now. They got a good run game. They got good wide receivers. And I mean, they're winning without Mike Evans. Abuka looks like a next superstar.
What he's doing is incredible.
Yeah.
No Godwin, no Evans. Ibuka got hurt. He's not going to play this week. No Bucky Irving. Like, what he's doing, I don't even know. It's insane what he's able to do right now.
Yes, Baker is going to turn into a folk hero in the NFL.
He's on another level right now. He's playing really great. I agree with you with him being the front runner of the MVP, and I do think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to be a force to be reckoned with come playoff time. Question number 2. There was another bad loss by Buffalo against Atlanta on Monday night and a win for Philly. So I asked you, Factor Cap, the Indianapolis Colts are the favorites in the AFC to go to the Super Bowl.
Definitely not. I think the Chiefs have been looking good the last couple of weeks. It started off kind of slow. They're getting Rashee Rice back. I don't think anybody's worried about the Colts beating the Chiefs.
The Colts offense is the most efficient in the NFL right now.
I agree.
They can score with anybody. So the question really is going to come down to defenses.
Who did they play?
And Kansas City's defense has not been all that great this year, while Indy's defense has been pretty rock solid. I'm not going to say they're necessarily the AFC favorites, but I would not be surprised if, for whatever reason, they continue to play this game and run the ball the way that they do and play defense the way that they are. I would not be surprised to see them in the AFC Championship game.
I'm looking at this right now. I would be. They beat the Dolphins by 25 week 1. They beat the Broncos by 1. Good team, 29-28. Good win. I mean, then they beat the Titans. They lose to the Rams. They beat the Raiders by a lot, but we see the Raiders suck. And they beat the Cardinals by 4 with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. So I don't know. Like, I mean, I like Daniel Jones, and I like to see the comeback story. I like a lot. I think the Giants fucked up when they got rid of him, but I don't know. They haven't really beaten anybody that good to me. Maybe, I guess you could say the Broncos. I mean, they're like, nobody expects them to be better than the last team in. But they got Steelers, Falcons, Chiefs.
I call this overreactions for a reason.
I do think that's an overreaction. I won't be. I mean, they're definitely. It looks like they're going to win the division and maybe win a game around. I don't see them as a favorite like that. I think the Chiefs are momentum's gearing up. They're starting to score points. Mahomes and they're getting Rice back, so it's just only going to get better.
Question number 3. With Buffalo's loss on Monday night, New England has officially claimed the top of the AFC East. So I asked Factor Cap, New England will win the NFC or AFC East and not Buffalo.
Ugh. I would have to look at the schedule to really, if I was going to wager on it, but I'll say Cap for now. I think, Bills just had a letdown game. I think there was a few Philly. It's just maybe it's just a weird week, but I don't know. I mean, Drake May's still a rookie to me. Young guy. I don't know if he's going to keep
so good.
Yes, he is good.
So good.
But they lack talent on both sides of the ball, coaching and great quarterback play. You know what I mean? I guess you're going to count on that to continue, then maybe. But I don't know. I still like the Bills.
I'm going to say Cap for now, just because Buffalo. You got Josh Allen. He's the reigning MVP, and they've been there before. However, I will say this. New England right now is in the center of a lot of trade talk in terms of getting one of these number 1 wide receivers, whether it be A.J. Brown from Philly or there's Chris Olave from the Saints. They're in talks to get a number 1 wide receiver. If that happens, paired with Drake May, and if they can figure out their run game, because their run game's been almost non-existent, and they're still winning games just off of Drake May's arm with no number 1 wide receiver, look out. That's all I'm going to say. That may turn into fact a little bit down the road, but as of today, right now, I would still pick Buffalo to finish the top of the AFC East over the New England Patriots. So everybody knows that has watched this podcast, I am a huge Drake May fan. That was my number 1 quarterback coming out of the draft last year. So
he has definitely looked the part. He looks like
that for now.
A lesser version of Josh Allen right now, but he's on that trajectory, it looks like. But he's been balling. Mike Vrabel's a great coach. So, I mean, and they have a culture of winning. So
Absolutely.
it's easy for them to fall back into it.
Question number 4. Washington's loss, as well as Dallas's loss to the Carolina Panthers, kind of put things in the NFC East a little wonky. Philadelphia lost. So I will ask you this, Factor Cap, Philadelphia is going to win the NFC East just by default.
Probably they're going to be beating up on each other. I mean, I just saw, I think the Commanders are in 12th place right now. Philly's still the best team. I know they're going through some ups and downs, but they got the best running back in the league, top 5 wide or top 10 wide receiver, I'd say. Got Hurts, and again, culture winning. They've been to the Super Bowl 2 out of the last 3 years. So yeah, I don't. Maybe the Cowboys if they can, get some momentum going. But I think everyone says it's Jake Daniels, but I still think Dak's the best quarterback in the NFL.
Question number 5, last question. Factor Cap. The Justin Fields experiment as a starting quarterback is officially over.
I guess we'll see. I don't think it will be for this year. They don't got anybody better. Who's their backup? Who's going to throw out there? So, but yes, it is coming to an end. I don't know if honestly I was sitting thinking about it because I want to see him do good. But I don't know if it's really stemming from being here and just getting his ass kicked. His first game out there, getting sacked 10 times against the Browns, really just broke him because he just won't. For the life of me, I don't get why he's so afraid.
I have no
just
idea.
Throw it. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, you know what I mean? Like you said, like you're on your last leg. If this doesn't work out, if you can't show that you're gonna be a 60% completion passer. And you know what I mean? You can throw interceptions. You got the benefit of being able to run the ball. People are going to give you grace on the turnovers because you do other things. So
what's the worst? What do you got to lose if you're just?
I don't know if it's like the yips type of thing. Just like we ruined him. I kind of feel bad that I think that they threw him out there year 1 and he got fucking because he never was a runner at Ohio State ever. He never. I don't think he rushed for 100 yards one time in 3 seasons.
His processing is just not there. If his first
read
is not open,
he won't throw it. I'm going to say a lot of times he won't even throw it to his first read unless they're wide open. He won't
just let it rip, Justin. Yeah. For the love of God, for the sake of your career. I don't they got a game coming up, and I don't know who they play. I didn't look at the schedule, but all I can say is this: I don't care if you don't take a sack. Every single time you drop back to throw the ball, throw the fucking ball.
Yeah,
if you get it picked off,
who cares?
It's picked.
I mean, what I'm saying to him is like you said, it's what is there to lose? Because just let it rip, find out if you're going to be a quarterback or not, and you go play wide receiver somewhere. Because you're still going to have a career in the NFL. You're clearly electric, and you do have an arm. He's got the talent. We've seen him make better deep throws than fucking Caleb Williams ever fucking made.
Absolutely, 100%.
So I don't know, he's just so afraid to let it go, and I just don't understand why. But I hope it's not over because I still want to see him do good because, like I said, I think that the Bears are the ones that ruined him. So I hate to see that our shitty organization ruined a promising young talent's career. But who knows? Like I said, this is the NFL. A lot of guys come back. We thought Baker was done. We thought Geno was done. We thought, Geno was a huge surprise. Maybe not Baker so much, but who the fuck thought Sam Darnold was going to get a resurgence? Yeah. Nobody. Like I said, Geno too. Nobody thought Geno was coming back. Maybe Baker, but
that's why I'm waiting 2 or 3 years for the Zach Wilson resurgence to start. You know what I'm saying?
He's got a lot of talent too. He fall in the right place. He might be okay.
That's what I'm saying. Minnesota,
and Darnold. And Mike Darnold's got a lot of experience too. He's played in a lot of games.
Yeah, absolutely, he has.
It'll be interesting, and I think this is a different age where a lot of these the younger guys aren't as promising.
They're not NFL ready. They're not.
The older guys are staying longer, so that makes the younger guys just less desirable. It's if you're not Drake May, fucking Caleb Williams, Jada Daniels type prospect, we're we don't even fucking want you. We'd rather play with Joe Flacco. Just because I think I do agree. I think Zach Wilson will get another chance. I honestly think Justin Fields might get one more chance just because of the the carousel of quarterbacks, like what's going to happen when like Michael Penix doesn't work out for the Falcons, like in 2 years.
I want to see. Here's the thing: as much as I don't want to see it, just for the benefit of Justin Fields, I want to see Justin Fields with Kevin O'Connell or with Sean McVay.
Yeah,
Like one of those guys. You know what I'm saying? I would not want to see him in Minnesota as much as I don't want him to, but Kevin O'Connell would be a really good coach for him. He's resurrected the career of Sam Darnold. He resurrected the career of, Daniel Jones. He's made Carson Wentz look good these last few weeks. We'll see what he does with JJ, but that would be if I'm Justin Fields, if my career as a starter is over after this season with the Jets, I am telling my agent I will take the veteran minimum. I will go and be third string quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings, and I will learn under Kevin O'Connell. Whatever it takes.
Honestly, wherever he goes, too, he'll end up being a gadget player because he, like I said, he's just too special not to put in on like the goal line or when you need a yard.
Oh, absolutely.
But I mean, he's just a likable kid. But yes, it's concerning. Like I feel like he's regressing as a quarterback. Like I feel like he's getting worse and worse. Like because, like you said, we saw him make a lot of touch deep passes. Like I said, that I haven't seen Caleb make one time yet. Like
-10 net passing yards.
And yeah, I don't. He's got happy feet. He won't pull the trigger unless guys are wide open, and I know it's got to be frustrating. And then it just creates dissent on your team because these wide receivers in the NFL are divas. They want the fucking ball. So
Garrett Wilson's pissed.
Yes, he wants the ball. Aaron Rodgers, they might have sucked, but at least Aaron Rodgers is throwing the ball 10 times a game. So that's something too that'll always tear up the chemistry of the team, and that's what Justin has to realize too. That like just throw it. These are your best players. They're gonna go up and make plays. You're the starting NFL quarterback. You get to throw one interception a game. Just in reality, nobody's gonna jump down your neck if you throw one interception a game. I mean, I guess if you do it every single game, but like just in your head, you should be thinking I could throw one. Like,
all right, final segment of the night. There's a lot to choose from, Sean, but it's week 6 dog of the week. Who is your dog of the week? I went first last week, so I'll let you go first this week.
Oh, let's see, dog of the week. I'm gonna have to say Bijan Robinson. He really kicked the living shit out of the Bills. That kid is special. Like, I know I was like, no way I want the. I mean, obviously he got drafted before we picked anyway, but I was like, oh, I don't want a running back. But now I kind of think I would because he is electric. Like, just like bouncing off of guys. Just looks like the best player out on the field where nobody can touch him. And if Falcons can get it, like you said, the Bills, they're no slouches. They played a good game. They got a talented roster. They got a lot of quality first round draft picks.
Their defense is hurt a little bit, but yeah they. And you could have picked a couple of guys from that game. I mean, Drake London had himself a fucking game too. 10 catches, 158 yards. But yeah, Bijan, man, he is something. I agree with you 100%. He is something special. I went a little bit of a different route. I went same position for my dog of the week. I went Mr. CTE himself, Cam Scadaboo. 98 yards, 3 touchdowns in a divisional game. I was going to pick Bijan, but with what Cam Scadaboo did against Philadelphia in a divisional game, for me, he was the dog of the week. He was just he runs the ball. He has a nonstop motor. When I called him Thad Castle, I legitimately mean that him and Jackson Dart are Thad Castle and Alex Moran from Blue Mountain State. They are 2 psychotic white boys that are frat boys at heart, and they seem to genuinely get that. They breathe kind of new life into the New York Giants.
Some energy, some fun. Football's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be
absolutely.
And I think a lot of times that gets lost in it. And
the way he plays, that's just. I saw all of the memes, especially after that game on Twitter and TikTok and everything else like that, where they played a clip from The Longest Yard with Stone Cold Steve Austin, running the football. That's how a white man runs a football. I thought it was hilarious. But that was a big game for the New York Giants. Big game for Cam Scadaboo. That's why he is my dog of the week this week for week 6.
Yeah, he's kicking ass my fantasy team, one of them. But yeah, Cam Scadaboo has just been amazing all year. I think we're forever going to regret not picking him. And I don't know. I think running backs making a comeback. I think shit's trending. trendy in the NFL, and we went through like a 5 to 10 year span where it was like only the top five guys matter. But I think their
Well,
running backs.
we didn't really discuss it. We touched on the trade deadline a little bit. I don't know if we got maybe a little bit of time just to hit up on this real quick. But realistically, like you said, running backs making a comeback a little bit. I know we talked about potential trade targets for the Bears and one of them being Breece Hall, but when you look at it, the salaries for NFL running backs are going up. Saquon this year is making almost $21 million.
Yeah.
Breece Hall is in the last year of his deal, and he's going to get paid by whoever trades for him this upcoming year. He's probably going to be in the $14-15 million range with the way that running back salaries are going right now. So when you look, I mean, do you really want to sink $14-15 million into a guy like Breece Hall? Alvin Kamara's making $16 million. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's kind of on the downhill slope a little bit. I think he realistically probably ends up in like Kansas City or some shit. But that's a real thing that teams that are trading for these guys are going to have to start looking at. And now that I think about it, if we could continue this run game, I'm fine with not getting a running back, for a trade this year. Definitely draft one next year. But I want them to focus on defensive end. Let's get Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati.
Yes, I agree. We do need a defensive end badly. I think that would just put us over the top. I wouldn't mind, like you were saying earlier, Jalen Phillips and A-Chain. That would be a great deal.
If you could get a 2-for-1 trade with Miami, because Miami's going to fire sale. If you could get Jalen Phillips and A-Chan from Miami and give them 2 twos, give them 2 twos, back-to-back years. Here's a second. Done deal. I would do that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat, I would do that. Because Devon A-Chan
he's made a deadline deal every year, right? So
yes,
we will see.
No, he didn't last year. He didn't make a big splash last year.
There was nobody to go get last year, I think.
But he has been. The one thing I will say about Ryan Poles is he's not afraid to take swings. Whether or not they're hits or not is completely different. But if you can get a 2-for-1 for Phillips and A-Chan from Miami for 2 twos, you fucking do it. I don't. I have no hesitation.
At this point, I feel like I know we're always overly optimistic, but at this point, I think the Bears and Ben Johnson have shown enough that you can take a swing. We don't need all 7 of our draft picks anymore.
Especially if you win the next 2 games. If you win the next 2 games against Baltimore and New Orleans, you got
if we beat Baltimore with a healthy Lamar, he has to go get somebody.
Yeah,
there's no choice. Like Trey Hendrickson isn't on our team, I would be extremely pissed off. But I think regardless, even if we lost to Baltimore, I think they've shown that we're going to be fighting for a playoff spot. We can still win the division. We play all these guys again, and they don't look like world beaters. I mean, the Lions look one week they look great, in other weeks, but we always play them close.
Very true.
But we always play them close. Even when we had Justin Fields and we sucked, they were close games. So I think next time it'll be a close game. We might pull it out. Same with the Vikings. They got either Carson Wentz. McCarthy was nothing special. That was first game of the week.
And we got Green Bay twice.
Yes, we had a lot of injuries. And again, Green Bay, we beat them last time we played them, and they had their starters playing. They wanted to win that game, and we beat them. And they, like I said, they got Micah, but they haven't looked crazy special.
They have not looked great.
Outside of the Detroit game was that week 1 too as well, right? They haven't really looked that good. So it's like we could still win the division. So I think we got to go out and get a pass rusher. And Jalen Johnson's not coming back. We might have to get a corner, but like if there's some old guy, what's Stephen Gilmore doing? Is he on the team? Like
no, he's not. He's a free agent.
Is there a free agent we can go get somebody? But we got to do something there too. If Jalen Johnson doesn't come back, we need another corner.
Jalen Johnson is expected to be back the second half of the season, probably after week 10.
Yeah, and even then, like who's to say he's himself? So I think we should be in the market for a corner as well. Maybe like it doesn't necessarily have to be a trade, but I mean if we can get somebody off the street with some experience, maybe. But we got to do something there as well.
I would be okay with the Stephon Gilmore signing. I mean, he played horrible the last couple of years. He is getting up there in age, but you just need a veteran.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Somebody who's not going to blow the coverage. Maybe he'll get
because you don't need him as your number one. I mean, you stick Tyreek's been playing. That's the biggest apology that I've admitted to that. Yeah. I've owned up to it. I apologize to Tyreek. He's been playing lights out the last several weeks now, and I think that he's starting to buy into Dennis Allen's system, and I really think he's starting to gain some confidence. And you have Kyler Gordon as your.
But we need him in the nickel. Yeah, we need one more
outside guy, and you just need a guy who. But here's the thing, though. Stephon Gilmore with age, they do play a lot of man. So I don't know if necessarily Stephon Gilmore's a fit, but you could still go out there and get a guy in free agency or something like that that's, a pretty decent man guy.
Yeah.
Like you said, you don't necessarily need to trade for them, but let's get a D end. And if you can get the 2-for-1 from Miami, you absolutely pull that
Yeah, if
trigger.
there's some running
But
back that we really like, maybe I don't know. I don't think Brees Hall's the move. I think because he has to be signed right away. I don't think he's that special. I think we can roll with them for Brees Hall. But if I think, like you said, it was a deal where A-Chain and Phillips, I'd be into something like that. But or like I said, I don't know, get Roshan back in the ball, get something going. We just need somebody who's going to be running more north and south. Swift showed great signs this week, though. He was really hitting the hole, made a couple people miss, lucky or whatever you want to Troy Aikman wants to call it. But it was really, like I said, he was special when he had 70 receiving yards, 100 something rushing yards. It was a great win, just great all the way around. Like I said, it was only a 1 point win, but it felt like more than that just because.
it would have been.
We did what we were supposed to do. There were some bad penalties that made it worse, but we when we needed to score, we did.
Touchdown away from Roma Odunze, and realistically, with the shit that people were talking about Caleb Williams, if that touchdown doesn't get called back because of a phantom penalty, his quarterback rating jumps up to 108.
And even honestly, that deep ball where Odunze was wide open and he underthrew him, that was PI. Like where there was like a play action bomb, and he had the perfect read. Dunze had a couple steps on, he threw it up, and Caleb shorted it. That was a PI.
It was underthrown.
It was underthrown, but it was a PI, and that's what most PIs are anyway. The quarterback underthrows it, you go back, the guy doesn't get his head around, but they didn't call it. I just feel like it was I don't know what the fuck the national the fucking NFL Illuminati did not want us to win that game, and we won it. That's why it felt like more than a 1 point victory.
And we still pulled it out.
Yes, exactly. And it was. I think that's what everybody's buying in. I think that's what we miss about the Lovey era, where it was like Lovey was like, it's us or them. Like those guys didn't really talk to the media a lot. It was like we were going to win. We were all in, and we were a team. And I think we need more of that energy. Ben Johnson was turned up in the locker room after the game. I love to see it. He was turned up on the sideline. I forgot who he told somebody to shut the fuck up. It was hilarious.
I don't know. Yeah,
I forgot who he said it, but you could clear as day see that's what he said. Yeah. I like his energy, and I'm really excited for this year because I think, not to get our hopes up, but barring a crazy injury, I think we're going to be in the playoffs. I think the Vikings. I don't know if they're going to be able to hold it up. I think either the Packers or the Lions is going to fall off, and I think we're on par with them. So, and we got
one last thing. I have one last question for you. I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's kind of important. If the Raiders continue to lose, trade deadline pops up. Do you call the Raiders and offer 2 1s for Max Crosby?
I'll do that in a heartbeat. I would. I might. That's what we gave him for Kayla or for Khalil Mack. I'd definitely give up 2 1s for Max Crosby because, like I was saying before, as much as I harp on polls and there are holes in our roster, we don't need the whole draft anymore. Moving forward, we're only going to need 1 or 2 guys, so you're just going to have to hit in the second or third round. I would give up whatever for Max Crosby, really, whatever. Honestly, with something similar to what they gave up for Micah, because I think he is just a game wrecker. And if I think him on our team, that'll make us one of the favorites in the NFC.
That's all I had.
All right. Well, we'll see you guys next week. Adios. We'll be talking after.
Don't forget to comment who your dog of the week is.
Yes. Like, follow, subscribe, please. Adios.
We'll see you next week.
Adios.